Chapter 1. Roots and Gum Springs. The basketball slapped against the cracked asphalt, the sound blending with the hum of passing cars on Richmond Highway. The summer heat clung to everything, thick and suffocating, like the kind of air that could make you feel trapped even when you were outside. Gum Springs was a small, tight-knit neighborhood located just off Route 1 in Alexandria, also known as Fairfax County. Yes, it's confusing, but that's not the point. It wasn't much, but it was home, a place where history ran deep, woven into every corner of the streets, every modest home, and every faded storefront. A community where people grew up with a sense of pride and resilience, despite the constant pull of the outside world. Tyler dribbled the ball slowly, focused but not really paying attention to the game. His mind was on something else, something he couldn't quite put into words. The basketball court behind the community center wasn't much to look at. The chain-link fence had rusted at the edges, the backboard was scarred with graffiti tags, and the pavement was cracked and uneven. But it was theirs. This was where the neighborhood came alive, where pickup games spilled into the night, where arguments over fouls were as heated as the summer sun, and where kids dreamed under the dim glow of flickering streetlights.
Man, you've been out here all damn day,
Jamal called out, walking up to the court with his usual swagger. His voice was a mix of playful and sharp, carrying that rough edge that made you pay attention. Jamal's brown skin was glistening with sweat from the summer heat, and his oversized t-shirt clung to his frame. He dropped his backpack on the bench, his steps heavy, his presence always felt.
Not all day,
Tyler replied, glancing over at him, then flicking the ball towards the hoop. It rattled around the rim before dropping through.
Just got here, actually.
Jamal raised an eyebrow, an amused grin tugging at the corner of his mouth, settling onto the bench and slinging his backpack beside him.
That's Cap. You know I walked by this morning, right? You was out here then too. What you running from, bro?
Tyler shrugged, grabbing the rebound and bouncing the ball once. He wasn't running from anything, but he wasn't exactly running towards something either.
Running from? Nah, man. I'm running towards something.
Jamal let out a short, dry laugh and leaned back against the chain-link fence.
Man, you sound like one of them dudes on BET Sunday mornings talking about chasing dreams and all that.
Tyler didn't even flinch. He just shook his head, trying to ignore the crack in his confidence that Jamal's words had left. He shot the ball again, this time with precision, the sound of the net swooshing cleanly.
Maybe I am. What's wrong with wanting more?
Jamal grabbed the ball and tossed it up in the air. His shot was lazy, missing badly as it bounced off the rim.
More?
He asked, looking back at Tyler with a skeptical expression.
Ain't nothing wrong with wanting more. But around here, more gets you in trouble, bro. You gotta play it smart.
Tyler sighed, spinning the ball on his finger as he glanced at Jamal. He knew what Jamal was talking about, the same thing he'd heard his dad talk about, the way the world could swallow you up if you weren't careful. But Tyler had bigger ideas, bigger plans. He didn't want to be stuck.
And that's why you want to be like Tasha?
The words slipped out before Tyler could stop them, and the moment they did, he regretted them. Jamal's face tightened immediately. His grin disappeared, replaced by something colder. He leaned against the fence, his jaw tightening in a way Tyler had never seen before.
Don't talk about my sister like that, bro,
Jamal said, his voice low but firm, the tension thick in the air. Tyler didn't know how to backpedal, but he wanted to. He opened his mouth to apologize, but didn't know what to say. Jamal cut him off before he could say anything.
Yeah, you were...
Jamal snapped, his tone harsher now. He paused, trying to shake it off, but Tyler could tell it hit deeper than he expected.
She does what she has to do. Ain't like we all got it good like you.
Tyler didn't take offense. He knew Jamal's life was harder than his. Jamal's mom worked 2.5 jobs just to keep food on the table. His sister, Tasha, had become the protector early on, taking on responsibilities she shouldn't have had to. She was tough, street smart, and unafraid of anything or anyone. The people in Gum Springs knew her name, but not all of them knew it for the right reasons. Tyler's home was different, quieter. His dad, a history teacher at West Potomac High, filled their home with stories, tales of resistance, revolution, and the kind of hope that Tyler had learned to take for granted. His mom, an accountant, kept everything running smoothly. Their family dinners were a mix of debates and laughter, and their house was warm. Tyler knew it wasn't the same for Jamal. He couldn't help but feel guilty, even though he didn't know what to do with it.
You coming to the cookout tonight?
Jamal asked, his voice breaking through Tyler's thoughts. It was a question they both knew the answer to, but Jamal asked it anyway.
Maybe,
Tyler replied, his focus elsewhere.
Depends on if I finish this chapter.
Jamal groaned and sat down on the bench next to his backpack, pulling out a pack of gum and popping a piece into his mouth.
Man, you and them books. Ain't nobody round here care about your history lessons. You gotta live a little.
Tyler grinned. He wasn't even mad. He'd heard it all before.
I do live, bro. Just do it differently than you.
Jamal let out a short laugh, though there was no malice in it.
Yeah, differently. Like a square.
He teased, nudging Tyler with his elbow. But Tyler knew Jamal didn't mean it. They'd been best friends since second grade, inseparable even when the world tried to pull them apart. Their bond had always been tight. So tight that even their parents knew they were practically family. They'd been to each other's houses for sleepovers, eaten dinner at each other's tables, and Tyler even saw Tasha like an older sister. But as much as Jamal and Tyler were alike, they were also different. Tyler was the brains, the one who could talk circles around anyone in class, and Jamal was the fearless one, the one who could get out of any situation with his street smarts. He had aspirations that Tyler didn't always understand, mainly because they came from a place Tyler didn't live in. Jamal's sister, Tasha, was in the game. She had been for years. And Jamal? He was next. Tyler wasn't scared for him, but he worried. He couldn't help it.